Stalker 2 sells 1 million copies in 24 hours, and the community is already hard at work on mods that fix some of the most glaring issues with the game. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. Void Crew leaves early access and enters its 1.0 state. Deadside introduces its largest update of all time, and we have some rumors that I want to discuss as well. Today we're trying something new, and I'm going to be talking about this week's biggest gaming news going into the week and what we have on the horizon for the next few days. Speaking of horizon, Jesus Christ. This week's episode is brought to you by Surfshark. Stay tuned to find out how you can protect your internet browsing and PC using Surfshark. Make sure to like the video and subscribe down below. Let's get into it. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl has been out for a few days now and has already sold over 1 million copies. Take that, Dragon Age Veilguard. Even though the game has launched to a mixed reception, Stalker 2 has been taking the internet by storm, becoming one of the most played games on Steam on its launch day of November 20th. The developers at GSC Game World have announced that over 1 million copies of the game were sold, which doesn't include players playing on Game Pass for both PC and Xbox, which is actually insane to think about. They've also confirmed the game's first patch is coming this week, focusing on crash and quest progression fixes. Hopefully they nuke this Stalker blocking Operator Drewski's playthrough, where he just blocks the door and doesn't let him through. One of the big fixes that players are looking forward to in a future patch is the improvements to the A-Life system, which as of now are being held together by bandages soaked in vodka, but are being aided by a few different mods that have shown up on Nexus Mods. The top downloaded mods include an optimized tweaks version for S2, Grok's modular mutant health, no weight mods for things like ammo, nades, meds, or food, reduced repair costs, and my personal favorite, the ability to sell damaged weapons to traders. Thank fucking God. As of recording this video, there are 12 pages of mods available for the game that you can check out right now. I'll have a link down below so you can peruse to your heart's content. And while you're out in the zone, make sure you stay protected with today's sponsor. In today's world, protecting yourself online is one of the most important things you can do. That's where Surfshark has you covered. With your entire household being covered under one account, there's no need to make sacrifices because you can use Surfshark on an unlimited number of devices. And with over 3,200 different servers in over 100 different locations, you can find a different server for every need. If you want access to censored or region-locked content, or if you want to avoid the pitfalls of using public Wi-Fi while out and about, Surfshark does it all. And with 24/7 customer support, even the smoothest of brains can use the service. Hell, there are websites that show you prices based on your location, and you can use Surfshark to get the best deals imaginable. And at the end of the day, you can do all of these things while just remaining a little bit more safe online. Click my link down below and check out Surfshark for yourself. And with a 30-day money-back guarantee, there's literally no risk to you to protect yourself online. Shout out to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to it. In today's early access news, Void Crew has left early access and launched into a 1.0 state with a 20% off discount. Void Crew is a co-op roguelite for up to 4 players where you outfit your spaceship and your crew, complete quests, and battle fierce enemies in space battles. Now, I haven't personally played the game, but I will be checking out the 1.0 update this week, so look forward to a future video on that. Hopefully, I'll have that done by the end of the week. The game looks awesome and is actually right up my alley. I've been having a massive craving for a game like this, so it's kind of perfect timing. I'll have a link down below if you want to check the game out for yourself. In other early access news, Deadside is introducing its biggest update ever with new vehicles, including cars and motorbikes, a brand new base building system, base decorations, as well as a brand new rating system where they added things like auto turrets, cameras, as well as a Discord bot to notify you when your base is being raided. They're completely overhauling the progression. A huge map expansion is coming to the game. They've also rebalanced things like respawns, rebalanced the loot spawning across the map. They've added new locked bunkers. There's a brand new foraging system and much more. Much like Void Crew, I am going to be jumping into Deadside and trying to experience all of these things that are going on right now on their public testing server. So if you guys do want to try this update before it goes to live servers, you can choose to opt into this branch through Steam and try all of these updates for yourself. In other early access news, Gray Zone Warfare is dropping their Night Ops update on November 27th. This update is bringing a plethora of changes and additions to the game, and also includes a full progression wipe, so if you're jumping in for the first time in a while, pretty much everything's gonna be gone. They're bringing in a bunch of new attachments, including flashlights, laser sights, and obviously the night vision systems so that you can make your way around this map easier. And obviously, as it's nighttime in the game now, the AI are going to have a harder time seeing you as you're sneaking through these areas. And also coming in this update is how strong the AI is when it comes to their aiming and their firing and basically their behavior system as a whole, as well as a complete overhaul of the economy, as well as the amount of time that it takes to call in a helicopter. I'll have a link to the full patch notes down below, but you guys can jump in for the first time on November 27th. This week is already jam-packed with things I want to do, and starting on November 27th, Black Ops 6 is dropping a huge update to players that includes a double XP leading into the weekend, as well as the prop hunt game mode, which for me has been one of the most anticipated things coming out of this post-launch support for them. And this is such a nice way to kind of usher in the December 5th update, in which the game is bringing in the brand new Citadel Zombies map to the game. So if you're a fan of Call of Duty, you have a lot of things to look forward to. Switching gears here and talking about something that clearly nobody was looking forward to, LEGO Horizon Adventures is struggling to even touch the same kind of all-time peaks as a game like Concord. LEGO Horizon Adventures launched on Steam, hitting a peak of 602 players. And at the time of recording this video is sitting at 78 players, which I obviously don't have to tell you, for a Guerrilla Games and like PlayStation Publishing Studio first-party release is some of the worst numbers that I think I've ever seen. And with the game launching on November 14th to only mixed reviews, it's clear that this one just wasn't hitting. Could it have been the fact that you do still need a PlayStation Network account to purchase and play the game? Or could it be the fact that nobody was really asking for a Horizon LEGO adventure? Either way, Sony is doing everything in their power to not give the players what they want when it comes to PC releases, or hell, any sort of release for that matter. Bloodborne, anybody? And at a launch price of $79.99 Canadian, who's buying this shit? Now, switching gears to the last piece of news, and I use the word news kind of loosely here, GameRanks has put out a brand new article detailing the rumored Switch 2 release, which apparently is going to be revealed in January and released in March of 2025. Now, the gameplay in the background is a game called Intravenous 2. It has nothing to do with Nintendo because I don't feel like getting copyright claimed, so, you know, deal with it. This information apparently comes from Nintendo Prime, in which they found a rumor posted in Weibo that was then translated from Chinese to English. So again, some of these details might be a little bit misinterpreted, but apparently the translation rumor goes on to mention that there are already shipments in various regions of about 650,000 units. They also point out for comparison that the original Switch shipped 2.74 million units. And the rumor ends with claims that Switch 2 components have already been made in the hundreds of thousands since September. Now, we've been hearing Switch 2 rumors for a while, and I'd say like take all of this stuff with a grain of salt. But the original Switch launched March 3rd, 2017, which does line up with that 6 to 8 year console cycle. And, you know, seemingly as the first one launched in Q1 of 2017, I can kind of see this being a real thing. The big difference with the original launch of the Switch and this potential rumor is the fact that the Switch was revealed in October of the year prior, giving them about a 6-month lead up until the launch. This one, if they do reveal it in January, that doesn't really leave them a lot of time to market the release of the console. But I'm also wondering at this point, do they need that much time? People are going to eat it up in droves anyway, but you have to look at the differences between what they did 8 years ago and now and see if this might line up. Now, for me, I'm not the biggest Nintendo guy. I usually get the new consoles or the new handhelds when they release them. But I will say the Switch library as a whole for me throughout the years didn't really do a lot for me. I loved Animal Crossing. Obviously, the Pokemon games is something I still like to go and play. But there really needs to be a good hook at launch for me to want to jump in. And honestly, like recently with the way that they've been dealing with things with Pal World and going on lawsuit sprees and trying to shut down emulation, Nintendo isn't really in my good graces, even though I do like getting excited for new tech. And when new consoles come out, I always, look over the fence. Nintendo's been pissing me off recently. So I don't know if this is something that I'm genuinely like excited for. We have to see the launch lineup and see if it's even worth picking up. I don't want to make another mistake like I did with the PS5, which up until literally this moment has nothing that I actually genuinely want to play on that fucking console. But with that, guys, that wraps up the upcoming gaming news for the week. Next week, I know we have Delta Force. We're going to talk more about that. There is a technical test happening right now. It's weird. I have been invited to it, but I also haven't been given access to it yet. Very strange the way that's working for creators. But this week, in terms of videos for me, you can expect something to do with Void Crew. You can hopefully expect something to do with Delta Force. And I'll try to throw in another early access release if there happens to be a shooter that I just don't know about. As always, guys, my name is Big Fry. Shout out to Surfshark for sponsoring today's episode. I appreciate you guys watching. Leave a like on the video and subscribe for more gaming news, gaming discussions, and FPS content. And I'll see you on the next one.